If you can take 5 to 10 minutes, step away from everything, and capitalize on that energy, it may be just a little bit easier to create habits. I'm using this definition completely inappropriately, but please bear with me. There are times in my life, once every few weeks maybe every week if I'm lucky, where I hit a manic state. Now, for those of you unaware, the idea of a manic state is basically in like an elevated sense of like motivation, happiness, emotion, whatever. Now, if you're chronically depressed, have bipolar or schizophrenia, this definition means something a little bit different, but for the sake of this conversation, we're going to go with my definition. So this is a relatable idea for anybody who struggles with motivation. There are times when you're sitting in bed, 2 a.m., and you're ready to get up and clean your entire room, where in the past week or two, you've had zero motivation to do so. There are times, whenever you're finally sitting in class, settled and ready to go, when you're ready to start writing that novel you've always been thinking about. But unfortunately, at that very moment, you're in class. You're unable to do it. There are times when you're at work, you're motivated to go run a marathon. You're ready to go exercise, run, capitalize on your energy. And unfortunately, you're at work. And these are really inconvenient times to hit a manic state. So for me, I'm lucky enough to where I can time these states pretty effectively. Right now, it is 3:49 a.m. I have already recorded 3 episodes for my YouTube channel, where normally I'm doing it on a daily basis, barely able to keep up because of my work-life schedule. Now, I don't always get these bursts of motivation. There are days where I finish a shift, and the last thing that I want to do is set up my lights, set up my camera, audio, and get everything settled to the point where I want to record. But today is a different day. I've hit somewhat of a manic state. I am so extremely frustrated with my current life that I desperately want to break out. And in order to do that, I have to take steps in order to do so. I go on websites and apply for new jobs. I record videos in the hope that I might magically grow enough to where I can make this something that I could do part-time for money to pay for college. And instead of sitting there, internalizing my energy, not getting up and capitalizing on it, I take the time, even though it's almost 4 a.m., my sleep schedule is going to get messed up, and I hit the record button. Because recording 4 episodes will allow me to have more flexibility to either do bigger projects where I record videos outside different areas or more in-depth review videos, whatever it might be. It gives me more day buffers to be able to do that. Or whenever I hit a low period, I will have videos saved up, hopefully edited if I decide to capitalize on the state after I hit record. And I will be able to allow myself to not have to be forced into creativity. Because as I've mentioned on this channel before, forcing creativity is the fastest way to kill your audience. Because they will see immediately how dispassionate you are about what you're talking about, what you're doing. They will sense it, and they will be uninterested. So let's bring this back to be related to you, the viewer. How do you capitalize on a manic state? The sad fact of the matter is sometimes it can be ill-timed. If you're in the middle of a work shift, and you've been desperately trying to work out for months, and you finally get the motivation to do so at work, it's generally pretty inappropriate to get down and do push-ups right in front of your boss, or sit-ups, or whatever it might be. If you can, try to hold that energy, wait until you get off your shift, and at the very first opportunity, capitalize on it. Because what I found through snowball theory, through snowball theory, is that once you've started a given task, and you continue to do so, and you make it into a habit, it's much harder to stop. I've been daily uploading, as of recording this video, for 23 days. Back a year or two ago, I was barely uploading once every week, once every month sometimes even. What I found is, I would be devastated if I wasn't hitting my daily upload goal at this point, because after over 3 weeks of doing so, it's become a normal habit, and I found ways to adjust my life around doing this, where in a way that's not so intrusive that I feel desperate not to do it anymore. And because of that, because I hit manic energy near the end/beginning of last year and this year, I've been able to make this work. There were times whenever I was younger and very depressed and hadn't cleaned my room in weeks to months, where I hit that state at 2 a.m., and even though I had class in 4 hours, I decided to capitalize on it, and as a result, my room stayed clean. And because it was clean, when I would get home, I would feel just a little bit less depressed, because I knew I'd accomplished something, and that I was willing to take a step towards my mental health being rehabilitated. And what I found was, it was harder for me to make the room dirty again, only because it was already clean, and I would feel guilty about making it dirty. Whenever I would find it hard to work out, I would go on runs at 3 a.m. because I hit my peak manic energy at the nighttime. And sure, that was a little bit dangerous, but what I found was it became more of a habit, and until I had a pretty bad running injury, I was being pretty consistent doing about 10 miles a week. So for me, I made that work. Now, if you're a teenager and your parents are super strict, probably not going to be able to go on 3 a.m. runs. If they don't like loud noises at 2 a.m., probably can't do that. If you're an adult with several kids trying to balance a life, it may be hard to use that energy whenever you have kids to take care of, a wife to, or husband, whatever, to take care of, to have whatever to take care of. It might be hard. If you can take 5 to 10 minutes, step away from everything, and capitalize on that energy, it may be just a little bit easier to create habits. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Comment down below your favorite video of mine, and I'll give you a heart. Do not forget to keep it casual.